Good afternoon, Justin O'Keefe from Talent Force Recruitment. On our mission to help parents repivot, relaunch their careers and to get back into the workforce. So what we like to talk about today is the question of location, or location as the TV program goes. This is an interesting question. It's one that we find candidates often don't consider at all until they're actually in a role, or they consider it when they've landed an offer. We find doing a little bit of a self-assessment, this is something we'll talk about a bit more over the next few weeks, doing an assessment yourself of looking realistically of how far is it credible for me to travel, often from a time perspective. How would I do it? So, and this we think is one of the keys to staying in a role in the medium term. If you get this wrong, it can make a role, even if you like it, or the company or the people or the salary, if all that works and the transport doesn't work, the interface then with your family life, whatever you're trying to juggle, becomes very, very difficult. So we would often ask candidates to really assess how far time-wise are you willing to travel. So perhaps a role starts at 9 a.m. You're traveling from Tala, starts in Dundrum. How much time is involved in that commute, and not that commute on a sunny summer's day like it is today, when it might just take 20 minutes. On a rainy winter's morning, you're hitting the M50, or you're getting the bus, or whatever it is, whatever that mode of transport is. You might come to the conclusion that, I just can't afford really to travel at all from a time perspective. Time during business hours of the school day really is a very, very precious commodity. Not forgetting that a 30-minute commute twice a day is an hour of travel. An hour commute twice a day is 2 hours of travel. So understanding what it is you're willing to do, and you might come to the conclusion that it's simply not worth my while. I need the flexibility. I just can't afford to travel. It just makes things too complicated. In our experience, if you can define what that travel time is, what that really starts to narrow down is your job search area. So if you say, I'm only willing to travel 20 minutes, what that extends then is you say, well, actually geographically, I can only start to look at companies within this area. So if you live in Fox Rock or Black Rock, what is within 15 minutes? So somewhere like Bray is probably too far. If you're living in Bray and you say, I'm willing to travel 30 minutes, that goes down then perhaps as far as Wicklow Town and into South Dublin. But something like Tala is probably too far to be robust. So understanding that location, think about it. Unfortunately, what it starts to mean is when you start to narrow the geographical area to a certain time frame, a robust time frame, what that starts to do is it starts to narrow your options. It means there's going to be less employers, there's going to be less choice, less career options. And what it does mean is that in order to find the ideal job that you're after that works for you on a professional or career level, you may just have to wait a little longer. So we would suggest do an assessment yourself. An hour travel into Dublin, the centre of Dublin, sounds fine. You start multiplying it by 2, the in and out, you start doing it 2 or 3 days a week. It's really starting to eat into your family time, your work time. So perhaps setting realistic goals for a location. Thanks and take care. Talk soon.